Hello, everyone. So I wanted to make a little video about Essay 3. I've had quite a few questions on what I'm expecting, what it looks like. So I thought what we would do is we'd go through the sample together, and I can kind of show you what are some really great things about it, and maybe what are some things I'm not expecting, but this student did. The sample that I gave you is like the best Essay 3 sample I've ever gotten. So it's very well done. I am not expecting all of you to do that. It's a lot of work. However, I will say, and this is something I've told people when they've asked me, the more you do on Essay 3, the less you're gonna have to do on Essay 4, because especially in the outline part, if you're writing kind of full paragraphs or full out quotes, you can literally copy and paste those into your Essay 4. So the more work you're willing to do now, kind of the less work you're going to have to do later on. So it's up to you, kind of that limit or that page maximum that you want to reach. I will say, let's be reasonable. We don't need like 20-page outline, all right? But the more you do now, the less you're gonna have to do later, okay? So the student whose essay essay 3 we're gonna look at, they just did such a great job, and we'll talk about it. So I'm gonna attempt to share my screen with you and attempt to kind of click through things. So bear with me if technology fails me for a moment. I hopefully will be able to figure it out, okay? So here we go. Let's see if I can do this. All right. Share my screen. That looks good. Okay, I think we did it. So let's look at this first part, part 1. All right, so there's 4 parts to part 1. So what I've done is I actually copy and pasted his proposal, and I will post this up on Canvas for us to take a look at. And so you can see in the different colors, but he's done a nice job doing all 4 parts that are asked in the proposal. Now, with the proposal, it's meant to be very informal. Think of us sitting at Starbucks together and you're just telling me about your research project. Or it's not be highly academic. I just want to know what you're writing about and how you're going to do it. Okay. So, I guess my internet is not stable. Good. This is going really well. All right. Well, let's look at this breakdown really fast. So he introduces his topic right here in the yellow, and then in the blue, he's got his action plan. So the action plan is just how are you going to get these essays done? Okay, and if you don't know, then that's a great thing to write. I have no idea. I think this is what I'm going to do. Perfect. All right. The purple is his desired outcomes. So what he hopes to find and figure out in his paper. And finally, the resources he needs. So what are the things he's going to need in order to find the sources to make this successful? All right. So this is a nice proposal. Usually, I would say most people do about a page for their proposal. So this is a good sample to look at. So I'm going to put this up on Canvas, like I said, probably somewhere with the video. So you can kind of check that out and see how he does that. And I'll leave this beautiful highlighted rainbow there for you. Okay, let's look at the annotated bib. So the annotated bibliography, I gave you a short sample here. At this point, you only need to find 4 sources. You're welcome to put all 8 onto this annotated bibliography and only annotate 4, but I would say most people just find their first 4 sources, and that's fine. So let's take a look at the sample and kind of see what he's doing with that. So that's gross. Let me get it again. Again, I'm just working with technology, people. Doing my best. All right, here we go. So the annotated bibliography. A couple things I want to mention. First things first, it's in alphabetical order, so that looks really, really nice. The actual format of the citations are really good. The one thing I want to emphasize, though, is that in an annotated bibliography, the annotated part comes right after the citation. So as you can see, it goes from April 2019, and then he goes into the bibliography part itself, okay? So that looks really good. It helps save a little space. So he's got, it looks like a lot of different sources here, more than he really needed, which is fine, all right? So the other thing I want to mention about the biography or the bibliography, not the biography, is that there are 3 things that you need, okay? You need to have a summary, and some sort of kind of description of the argument that is presented in your source. You also need to have at least 1 sentence assessing your source's credibility. So why is this source credible? You need 1 sentence about that. And your last sentence or so needs to be about how you plan on using it in your paper. Okay, you don't have to know exactly where you're going to put it, but why are you using it? What's kind of the general idea of bringing it into your work? Sometimes people say, you know, I don't really know. It just seems like a good source. I'm thinking about this, and that's a perfectly acceptable answer. I don't need to know in paragraph 4, line 14, you're going to use this particular source, but where in general are you thinking about using it? All right, so annotated bibliography, one more time, you want to make sure it's in alphabetical order, that the bibliography part starts right after that citation like that, and that you have those 3 parts: summary, how is it credible, and where you think you're going to use it. All right, okay, finally is the outline part, and like it says, it's detailed, and I do mean detailed. So he does a nice job. He's already like worked through his introduction in this outline. So he's got the hook, the background, the importance, and his thesis. So when it comes time for essay 4, he can literally take this and just plop it right into essay 4. So again, a lot of work now, but he's going to save time later on. In terms of the main ideas, he's again got these kind of introductions. He knows where his sources are going to go. He's even analyzed the sources a little bit. So that's a lot of work. That's not necessarily what I'm expecting you to have all of that done. I would expect some sort of kind of introduction or topic sentence, maybe showing where your source is going to go, what quote you might use, other kind of main key highlights that you're going to do within that paragraph. All right. And yeah, you can work through all of your main ideas that way. And finally, he's got his counter argument, which again, done really well to the point that he can kind of just take this, put it into paragraph form, put it into essay 4, and his conclusion, he's just kind of written his conclusion. So this is all to say that you can do all of this if you'd like and save yourself a little time when we get to essay 4, but this is kind of going above and beyond. And I'm not expecting everyone to have this detailed of an outline, but it works really well, and it's very clear what he's writing about, how he's going to argue it, how the sources are going to fit in there. All right, I hope that's a little helpful. As always, let me stop sharing and come back to you. Okay, hopefully I'm back. So hopefully that's giving you a little bit more of an idea of what I'm looking for. As always, please email me with more questions. And I was going to say, if we want a couple more samples, I can provide you those as well. Next week, week 13, is when we are going to be workshopping essay 3. And so what that's going to look like is you're going to post one of those 3 sections onto a discussion board, ask me a question about it, and I can give you some feedback on it. So we still have some time to work through this and figure it out together, which is good. But I wanted to get this video out to you. That way, while you're working on it this weekend, because I know you will be, hopefully, you can kind of know what I'm looking for. All right, so I hope that answers questions. Any more questions, let me know. I think that's it. All right, let's see if this recording thing worked. How do I stop this? Okay, bye.